Welcome to Marketing in the Age of AI, the show for leaders who want real results, not more noise. Join Emmanuel Rose as he helps business builders turn AI from a confusing add-on into a practical advantage with clearer messaging, stronger trust, and smarter systems. If you felt a shift happening in real time, you're not imagining it. In the agentic pivot, Emmanuel calls it the move from experimenting with AI to building with it, so it supports your team, your brand, and your growth. Let's get into it.
Welcome to this episode of Marketing in the Age of AI. I'm Emmanuel Rose, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the process I'm in this year of creating software for every phase of strategic e-marketing, and talk a little bit about one of the tools that I created. My goal is to have all functions supported by software. So at this point, I've created working versions of a couple prospecting tools. Got an onboarding tool that I've created, and then a campaign creation and reformatting software. And then the last thing I've got to create is a reporting tool, at least in this phase. I say last thing, but I know it's not going to be a last thing. So what I wanted to talk today about was this prospecting tool. Well, I've created two prospecting tools. One is a generative engine optimization review and action plan that takes a deep look into website and content, and then looks and makes an assessment of how likely you are to be recommended by Gemini, Claude, and Chat. And then, like I said, build a recommendation for actions. So that's a pretty cool tool. And then I built this recently, this general kind of digital footprint tool. And so what I realized when I was building this tool is really how complicated modern marketing is, and how you really need help and assistance and a set of eyes, both human and LLM, to make sure that the details of your marketing are being managed. And so all the way from, let's say, ADA compliance, all the way to being able to be crawled by an AI agent, and everything in between that. And so, I hope you can see on this, is this kind of the first part of the score dashboard, just looking at the website's technical SEO, whether or not it has got ADA compliance and able to have that support. Of course, the GEO and AEO readiness, and then keywords that you're ranking for, and content gaps to close any keywords that you should be ranking for but are not yet ranking for, and then competitor research, a Google business profile assessment, how you're doing on your review platforms. If it's B2C, then that would be Google, Yelp, Facebook. If you're B2B, it could be Clutch or G2, those types of things. Then also social media presence, and the pay-per-click ads, and the Google search ads. And then also whether or not your website's set up to capture emails, and if there's automations from those forms. And then in general, just how your user experience is for your website. And then a section for AI agent readiness and deployment. And then inside each of those areas, then there's kind of high, medium, and low areas that that need to be addressed. So some immediately, some long term. But what was interesting was just looking and seeing how much technical activity is happening in marketing, in digital marketing, and how there's the consistency of really at least a monthly review of your digital footprint in order to stay on top of all the conditions. And so I built this as a prospecting tool, but then as I got deeper into it, I realized this also will be a great review for my team, for our client base. And so that we can go back and double check ourselves and make sure that our SOPs for campaign development and creation are up to date and accurate. And we'll get some direction in terms of taking care of marketing debt and making sure the maintenance that we're doing on client campaigns are clean and accurate. And then the other thing that I'll do with this is I will create an SOP for startup or new businesses and make sure our SOP is up to date on that, so that when we have new clients that are starting new businesses, that we are building with a very stable and secure footprint from the beginning. So that's where I'm at today. I've built a prospecting tool, one for GEO, one for general marketing. I built an onboarding tool. I built a campaign optimization and creation tool. And then sometime in the next month, I'll get started on the reporting tool, and we'll get some help from Claude on that. And then I like to build a project in Claude and do some iterations inside of just a regular Claude chat through that project. And then once I have what feels like complete work there, then I take that over into Claude Code, or I take it over into Replit, and then create the tools that I'm going to either publish or use internally there. So I hope this has been interesting for you, and that provides a little insight into the work that I'm doing for strategic e-marketing. And I'd love to hear if you have comments or questions, or if you think I left something out of this general marketing, digital marketing review process. I also hope that you continue to test and experiment with AI tools, and that you find a way to leverage those tools to save 5-10 hours a week from your work week through automation and through aggregation of information. And that with that time, you continue to upskill, you spend time with your friends and family, and that you get outside into nature, away from the screens. This is Emmanuel Rose, Marketing in the Age of AI.
Thanks for listening to Marketing in the Age of AI. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. Your copy of Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI is available at Amazon.com or EmmanuelRose.com. You can also connect with Emmanuel on LinkedIn. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.